Why'd you delete the tweet?
Well, because we learned that this illegal alien did this heinous crime. So we deleted the tweet.
Did you apologize to the girl and the family for suggesting it was a lie?
Never doubted the child. I was responding to a headline from your profession, the news profession, which happens all the time on Twitter. Doubted Joe Biden, which is usually a smart thing to do.
I was just responding to a headline. I'm not like a representative in the US Congress or anything. What are you talking about? Obviously that's Jim Jordan there, who admitted to deleting a tweet where let's put it up. He says, another lie, anyone surprised? And this is because a lot of folks were getting their news directly from the Ohio Attorney General, Dave Yost, who was also casting dispersions and doubts on this very story in his own state to basically wash his hands of responsibility that he was making a 10-year-old travel across state lines with her family to get an abortion, right? No, we're not gonna make exceptions. I'm not gonna reach out to the family. I'm just gonna go on Fox News. I'm gonna talk to the Washington Examiner. I'm gonna really continue this lie. Jim Jordan repeats it. It's found out to be not true. They arrest the guy. He deletes his tweet. Great. Now he says an illegal alien. Oh yeah, bring it back, baby. Bring the alien word back. Of course, he's not apologizing, but I don't know, maybe the deleted tweet's good. I did want to bring up, because there have been hearings about the Dobbs decision all throughout the week, and they've been providing some incredible moments. And Eric Swalwell, Representative Eric Swalwell of California, had this to say in response to people like Jim Jordan and the far right, casting doubt on this story that is only going to be far too common.
Yesterday, Ms. Swalwell, speaking of disinformation, Jim Jordan called a 10-year-old rape victim a liar. A 10-year-old rape victim was called a liar by the ranking member of this committee. And I know that he did that because he hates the president. It's clear every day from his statements and the statements from MAGA Republicans that they don't like Joe Biden, so they're gonna call him a liar. That's fine. But what is worse is the reason that he did it is because he doesn't like what that rape victim represents, which is that this law from the Supreme Court, Dobbs, and the laws that will follow in states like Ohio and Texas and Georgia and other states will bring us government mandated pregnancies for 10-year-olds, fourth graders, little girls. They don't just want to wage a war on women, they're now expanding it to a war on little girls.
Government mandated pregnancies for girls. Those lines, government mandated pregnancies for girls, 5 words. I want to hear every Democrat say that. Every Democrat say it over and over and over again. It's powerful and it is the truth. Rick, thoughts on this turnaround from Jim Jordan and being called out by Swalwell here?
So as someone who has covered, the intersection of sports and politics, this has been very interesting to me because Jim Jordan certainly does have a history. And you're also going to see it very soon, as I read yesterday on HBO Max. Not that a celebrity is the savior, but it certainly does shine more light onto it than probably a lot of us can, which is George Clooney is going to do a documentary on what went on at Ohio State. If you're uncertain, there was a doctor who was found to have, according to his accusers and investigations, abused over 170 student males at Ohio State. Jim Jordan was there, involved in the wrestling team, and even sent a text at one point to one of the wrestlers that said, and I quote, this is via NBC News, "Please leave me out of it." These are serious allegations. So the fact that Jim Jordan would turn a blind eye to this again, not the least bit surprising. If I may though, Eric, and that occurred at Ohio State. I'm sure I mentioned that before, but Ohio State University. If I may, real quick, Eric Swalwell was putting together like solid point after solid point after solid point. I know he like ran for president very early on in 2020, in 2020 and what have you. However, like the points that he's making, I want to see more of this. I want to see And Cenk got mad yesterday on the show, rightfully so, because a lot of Dems just don't want to fight. Maybe they're centrist Dems, maybe they're right-leaning Dems. Maybe they're just so well established that their net worth is over $100 million and we mean nothing to them. However, at least at this point, he is doing something that really moves the goalposts a little bit to say that he will give a tad more of a fight than probably a lot of other Dems on this issue and many other issues.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah, and just to like underscore what you said earlier, Jim Jordan was the assistant coach at Ohio State, wrestling coach, and knew absolutely this was going on. This is just one guy of the dozens that this doctor abused. Tito Vazquez says he remembers the day 3 decades ago when, as a wrestler at Ohio State University, the doctor he'd gone to see about a bloody nose insisted on examining his genitals. He also recalls how one of his coaches dismissed his immediate complaint. I wonder who that was. Quote, "I have nothing to do with this," Vasquez quoted the assistant coach, saying as he effectively ended the conversation and went on with wrestling practice. That coach was Jim Jordan. Yeah. I have nothing to do with this. There's far more to that story, including him begging other athletes not to testify, to not bring his name into it. We all know he's there to save his own behind, and that's it. And here he is throwing a 10-year-old under the bus, another victim of sexual assault under the bus.